Welcome, welcome. Come on in. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys, we are now up to 3,122 subscribers. The goal is to have 5,000 by January 1st, and we are rocking and rolling. I appreciate you guys getting in the comments. I appreciate you guys sharing the videos. I appreciate you guys commenting with each other in the comments. That really does help. So I appreciate all that. You guys can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok, the Fierce Mompreneur. We're going to go ahead and get into it, you guys. And this is a real case of, yes, CPS should be involved. When you're dealing with a mental health crisis, you don't call CPS. You usually call the police so that person can be Baker Act. This right here, y'all just look. This is a real, CPS case. Let's see. Parents charged after 6 kids found living in filthy storage unit.
This is a really tough story because you're looking at the living conditions that police say 6 children, including a 2-month-old baby, were living.
Oh my goodness. And it makes you wonder, like, why weren't they getting any type of services? A 2-month-old baby in a storage unit. And then don't get me wrong, I have seen people live in storage units on TikTok and they are clean and organized. So be filthy and in a storage unit? I don't know, y'all.
Living in, locked inside a storage unit. Their parents were found asleep inside their car outside the unit, and now they are facing serious charges. Just how much this couple was reportedly getting in Social Security benefits and what the mom had to say for herself in an emotional court hearing. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Child, not they were receiving Social Security, but let's get into it. Y'all make sure you like the video and share. Y'all, what? Huh? Oh.
It is not easy to see the images I'm about to show you. Images of a storage unit that police say 6 children, including a baby, were living in for weeks. Police were called to this storage complex around 1:30 in the morning last week, Tuesday, September 16th. Someone had heard the sound of a child crying from one of the units. Now, Milwaukee police said when they opened the door to the storage unit, they found children living in this. And the ages of those children, 9, 7, 5, 3, 2, and a baby just 2 months old. Now, police say the smell was, quote, putrid. And you can see in this picture, there's a sectional couch, a mattress, some blankets, no sheets. Police say the only light was what could creep through the gaps in the door. There was no running.
Oh my goodness. Wow. These poor kids get lost in the system. Like, this is what I'm talking about. These are real situations out here that CPS need to be involved in. Were these kids going to school? Did they receive they're in Milwaukee, but does Milwaukee have a program? How were they warming up their food?
Water, no electricity, no way to call for help if there was a problem, which just brings me back to thinking of that 2-month-old child. Now, this is the other picture that police have put out of a bucket that was in the middle of that storage unit. And that's what these 6 children were reportedly using to go to the bathroom. Police then started searching for the people who locked these children in the storage unit, a place that's meant to keep belongings safe, not a place for human.
Y'all, that's too much. This is just too much. Too much. This is so sad. A bucket. Y'all, let's this is a lot. Trigger warning. Ooh. Oh Lord, these poor babies, them older ones. You know, the 2-month-old, it's sad that you have to be in that, but you still have a chance where you won't remember this. That 9-year-old, oh my God. Oh my God. Even the 5-year-old. Ooh.
Beings, let alone children, to sleep. And outside, they found a Ford Expedition. And inside of it, sleeping with their dog, police say was the mom and dad to these 6 kids. 33-year-old Charles DePriest and 26-year-old Azia Zielinski. A criminal complaint reviewed by WISN.
So young, right? Oh, Lord.
TV. Frankly, it just breaks your heart with what these children have reportedly told investigators. Here's what it says. The 5-year-old told police that the children were told not to be loud when they were in the unit. The 9-year-old said it was his job to take care of his 5 siblings and that he was hungry. He said that his parents drank, and when they were drunk, it was his job to look after everyone. Another child said that she was upset that the dog got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings were locked inside the unit. Prosecutors would later note how much space there was in the car where even a child could have fit in there instead of being allegedly locked in a storage unit. Not that it
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
would have made it much better, or that would be a proper place for a child to sleep. Now, one child, when asked how she felt when the storage unit was locked, said she was, quote, sad. The 9-year-old also reportedly said he and the other children would receive, quote, whoopings from their dad.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this,
Oh my goodness. But this is what I say. This is what CPS needs to be involved in. Like, were they going to school? How did they get lost in the system? And this is why I say so much of that happens. So much of that happens when you pull them out of school. That's why people were so scared when the school shut down during the pandemic, because those are your mandated reporters that have eyes on the kids.
Reportedly told police that their children had been sleeping inside this unit for the past 6 weeks. The dad said the kids were sleeping there 3 times a week, and he did admit that they could have found a place with family or friends for these children to go to, but instead they allegedly decided that the storage unit is what they were going to do. Now, on top of
What? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
the dirty and potentially dangerous conditions that the children were living in, police say they also found a loaded gun in the center console of the SUV that Charles and Azia were sleeping in. Now, Azia claimed that the gun was hers, but Charles had touched it. Both parents are facing 6 counts of child neglect, but Charles is also facing an additional count of illegal possession of a firearm by a felon. Now, we found in court.
Lord have mercy. So I guess now the kids are with the family and friends that,
Court records that in 2010, Charles was convicted of 3rd-degree sexual assault in Milwaukee County in Wisconsin, which is north of Milwaukee. Right now, all the children are in the custody of Child Protective Services. DePriest and Zielinski, they are facing those serious charges. And here is part of what the mom's initial court appearance was like per WISN.
We have your children stating that they had no food, that the only food they found was from the garbage.
You can see she was very emotional in that appearance. Some strong and frankly honest words from the prosecutor. She and DePriest have said that they were homeless, that they were forced to live in these conditions because they were kicked out of a shelter in Milwaukee. But that shelter is pushing back on those claims. I'll get to that in just a moment.
Oh, I need to hear that. What's going on? What happened?
We did find that Zielinski was actually still very much active on social media, so she had access to a phone while being homeless. Here's a post that she put up on September 5th, marking that she was 1 month postpartum. Now, it's unclear how long DePriest and Zielinski and those children.
And she said she was starting to feel pretty again. I hope she wasn't making money off of content. Oh, wow.
Children had been considered homeless. Prosecutors say this couple receives about $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. The couple also claimed, again, that they were kicked out of a shelter in Milwaukee. But that organization told WTMJ TV that they verified that there was permanent housing secured for this family when they left the shelter. But now they're learning that the family never actually went to that housing. So they're
what? Dumb and Dumber riding around with 6 kids.
Are disputing the claim that this family was kicked out of the shelter and the claim that this family had nowhere to go. They also said that there were several families that were helping this family and their kids. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that DePriest is a registered sex offender and that may have created a barrier for the family to stay in certain shelters. In putting this story together, we were working to learn more information about this couple and about where they may have lived in the past as we try to piece together the story of how they eventually made it to allegedly having their kids in this storage unit in Milwaukee. Now, we did
This is a shame. This is a mess.
find that they had an old address listed on truthfinder.com, but again, it's unclear when they left that address and what circumstances led to them allegedly being homeless. At Law and Crime, we partner with Truthfinder, and we use it to get details on the people involved in our stories. But even if you don't work in true crime, it's a great tool that can.
Nice promo with Truthfinder. But this is Law and Crime. You can see the full video over there. If you're new here, please subscribe to it. But this is what I talk about when I say this is a CPS case. You're receiving $2,000 a month, which with that big of a family, that's a family of 7. You can't really, afford, but living in a car with a dog, oh my goodness, this is just a lot.
This is practice professor of law at Temple University, Marion Bracha. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. I know the pictures of what the storage unit, what it looked like on the inside, it's difficult for anybody to look at and think about the children that were allegedly that were living there. But from the prosecutor's standpoint, what are you looking for in terms of building a case now against these 2 parents?
Yeah, I think the photos, as they say, a picture, is worth 1,000 words. And so the fact that there is visual evidence that was documented about the condition of the storage unit, the size of it, what the children were expected to use in terms of hygiene and sanitation, I think that those pictures will be very powerful pieces of visual evidence for a fact finder to decide how these children were being treated, how they were.
So that is truly, they got criminal charges and they lost their kids to the state. So when we say, calling CPS on people and stuff like that, unless you're calling, to get them their Baker Act or something like that, CPS is just going to show up, document it, and go on about their business. When you have a case like this is, this is severe. This is severe. But you guys go ahead and comment and let me know. And you can go ahead over and watch the rest of the video. But I just wanted to show you guys what I think is a true need for CPS to get involved.